Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to RPtv. Today is Tuesday, October 15, 2019. If you're a fan of New Jersey politics, you may want to brace yourself because there is growing speculation that former governor or Chris Christie may want to return. Rihanna has that report.
Current New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy and former Governor Chris Christie have been involved in a verbal war for the past few months about New Jersey politics. In the midst of the heated exchanges, a reporter asked Governor Murphy if he wants to go against Christie again in the next election, to which he replied that it's hard to know how to answer that question. He adds that if that scenario is true, that's a sequel that only one person is looking for, implying that it would be Christie that would want to run for governor once more and go against Murphy. It is possible for Christie to do this, as state constitution doesn't allow a governor to be in office for 3 consecutive terms, but does allow rerunning after another governor has finished their first term. Despite this fact, in 2017, Christie said he didn't expect to run for any office again. Whether that will change in the remaining years of Murphy's term is up to him.
Traveling into New York has never been easy, but changes are in the works. As New Jersey Transit is moving to improve the train service along the Roselle Valley line. Callie has the details.
Direct midday train service into New York City will return to the Raritan Valley line next month, officials said Monday. New Jersey Transit temporarily suspended the service in September 2018 amid a shortage of trains and engineers. This service restoration means the elimination of major headaches. I don't have to tell you this for thousands of train riders, said Governor Phil Murphy, who was flanked by state, local, and federal officials. It means that the staffing and equipment required for reliable and sustainable service has been secured. The service will be restored on November 4th, and 3 of the 4 evening round trips will be restored, Murphy said. Local and county officials have made restoration of the service a key goal. In March, Westfield's surrounding municipalities officially lodged their support for the service restoration as part of the Raritan Valley Line Mayors Alliance of 32 mayors in Union, Somerset, Hunterdon, and Middlesex counties. By spring 2020, the staff shortage problem should be solved with more workers at the Raritan Valley Line. This will make it easier to operate the routes to New York, as there is more help in the Raritan Valley Line to make these routes possible.
Now it's time for announcements. For anyone who is interested in bowling during the winter, attend the interest meeting on Wednesday, October 16th in room 1 after school. Any questions or concerns, see Mr. Fucci. Thank you. Anime Club. October meetings after school, room 105, October 17th and October 31st. Class of 2023. Class trip to Brighton Asylum. When? Thursday, October 24th, 7 o'clock p.m. Cost $37. Ticket price includes pizza and drinks, transportation, and the ticket to the haunted house. Permission slips available on the class bulletin board. See Mr. Salamanca or Ms. Arango with any questions. Tabletop Games Club. We'll meet in the library after school on Wednesdays. Come check out a wide variety of board and card games. See Ms. Amoroso or Ms. Limke for details. Retakes for pictures will be October 23rd for high school. If you're interested in purchasing a yearbook or for $90, contact Mr. Fucci at vfucci@rpsd.org. There's a limited number of yearbooks available. The Garden Club will be hosting its 4th annual pumpkin decorating contest. Pumpkins can be decorated but not carved or cut in any way. $10 to enter. Pumpkins will be provided while supplies last. Winning group will receive Dunkin' Donuts prize. All are welcome to enter, including but not limited to clubs, classes, friends, and faculty departments. Order forms are in the main office. Please return payment with complete order forms to Ms. Hernandez or the front office. Make checks payable to RPHS Garden Club. Deadline to enter, Tuesday, October 29th. Judging will be held on Wednesday, October 30th and Thursday, October 31st. Winner will be announced Thursday afternoon. See Ms. Hernandez with any questions. Interactive sponsoring a school supply drive until the end of October. If you have any items you would like to donate, please bring them to room 1. Anything is greatly appreciated. Interact will be hosting a movie night on Thursday, October 30th after school. Come join us and watch Beetlejuice. You can pay $3 to attend or bring in a snack to share. See Mr. Fucci or Rebecca Rodriguez with any questions. The French Club will be meeting on Thursday, October 17th at 2:45 in room 3. The girls' tennis team score a major victory against Jonathan Dayton High School with a score of 4-1. Rylene Persons and Zaraya Biaz took first and second singles respectively, and Rachel Leon and Harshdeep Randawa took first doubles, and Isabel Pava and Harleen Randawa took second doubles. The girls' soccer team also came home victorious as they defeated Rahway High School with a score of 1-10. Madison Solinsky picked up the 1 goal on an assist from Camila Martinez. Luana Deleuze had 3 saves. It is hard to determine the state of the economy, as some people say it is booming, and others are watching as stores go out of business. Such is the store with Walgreens. Rihanna has that report.
Walgreens is planning on closing 200 stores in the U.S. The closing stores represent less than 3% of the 10,000 stores located in the U.S. due to a foreseen lack of customers and patients. Walgreens is doing this so it can hopefully save $1.5 million by fiscal 2022 by doing what is called Transformational Cost Management Program. With this, they are hoping to record $1.9 million to $2.4 million in real estate. Right now, the Walgreens spokesman is not going to release the list of closing stores and their locations. The stores are closing due to Walgreens' rivalry with CVS, but also because of online shopping and loss of foot traffic near the stores. This announcement marks the largest closing of Walgreens stores since 2015, when it also closed 200 stores. Not only that, their parent company also bought out Rite Aid and closed 631 out of the 1,932 locations, and with plans to shut 200 more. And even CVS has closed 46 locations with plans to close more stores.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Thanks for watching RPtv. Have a great day and stay tuned for CNN 10.
Hi, I'm Carl Azus for CNN 10. In the Middle Eastern country of Syria, American troops are on the move. There are about 1,000 members of the U.S. Armed Forces there. They've been leading an international fight against the Islamic State terrorist group, which took over large parts of Syria early in the country's civil war. But now, U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper says the American troops could become caught. The nation of Turkey is advancing into northern Syria. It's targeting the Kurds, an ethnic group that live in the region. Kurdish militias in Syria have been American allies. They've helped the U.S.-led coalition defeat Islamic State fighters. But Turkey considers the Kurds to be terrorists. And after the U.S. removed about 50 troops from northern Syria last week, Turkish forces pushed into the area. Their government said it was going after terrorists there and establishing peace. The Trump administration says it's moving all remaining U.S. troops out of northern Syria, though President Donald Trump said last night that they'll stay in the region to prevent a comeback of Islamic State. Critics of the U.S. troop movement have said that America abandoned its Kurdish allies, hurting U.S. credibility and potentially reversing gains against Islamic State. The Trump administration says Turkey was going to move into northern Syria anyway, and that the U.S. needed to get American service members away from conflict between the Turks and any forces that fight them. Republicans and Democrats in the U.S. government have been pushing for new sanctions, penalties on Turkey's economy. Last night, President Trump announced some sanctions would be put in place. It's unclear if they'll go far enough for those who want strict punishments on Turkey. 10-second trivia. The first U.S. presidential debate broadcast on radio featured which candidate? Thomas Dewey, Adlai Stevenson II, Herbert Hoover, or Franklin D. Roosevelt? In 1948, Republican hopefuls Harold Stassen and Thomas Dewey took part in the first debate on the radio. That debate was part of the primary process, a series of preliminary elections that decide which nominee appears on the presidential ballot. Incumbent President Harry Truman defeated New York Governor Dewey that year. Looking forward to the 2020 presidential election, there are no debates scheduled for the Republican Party, with the incumbent president being a Republican, but there have already been several, including one tonight, for a historically large field of Democrats. All of these events are milestones on the long road to the presidency.
You want to run for president. Being president makes you the single most powerful person, man or woman, in the world. But it's also a multi-year commitment that forces you to give up your personal life and any sense of privacy. And then, about half the country is going to hate you, no matter what you do. The Constitution has only 3 requirements: natural-born citizen, at least 35 years old, 14 years residing in the United States. But there's so much more to it. First, there's the primary process. Since only Republicans or Democrats are seen as serious candidates, you have to choose a party and get popular in that party. An inspirational biography helps. Maybe some years as governor or senator. You spend nearly a year bouncing back and forth from Iowa to New Hampshire to South Carolina to Nevada. If you're not with voters, you're raising money. And raising money. And raising money. It takes millions to mount a serious bid, and you can only raise $2,700 per donor for the primary and $2,700 per donor for the general election, if you get that far. Hillary Clinton raised and spent almost $1 billion, losing to Donald Trump. He raised much less, But primaries are expensive too. Bernie Sanders spent $222 million on his 2016 primary loss. Why is it so expensive? You gotta have an army of staffers and volunteers. You have to buy TV ads, internet ads. In the general election, you're gonna spend every waking hour in Pennsylvania, Florida, Michigan, maybe Ohio, Colorado. If you wanna win, you should probably visit Wisconsin. There are debates and town halls and interview after interview after interview. And then, if you win, you get to be president. You get to live above the office. You get to try to work with Congress and get something done. Oh, and you're gonna have to start running for re-election on day one.
What would you think is the most abundant man-made material on Earth? Steel, plastic, glass? The answer is concrete. And while it's an incredibly useful and ubiquitous material, producing it releases a large amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. There is technology available that prevents the gas from being released, but it comes at an additional cost, at least at first, and only a few dozen out of thousands of American plants use it.
You can wake up in the morning, you're in contact with it, you go to bed there, and then as you eat, sleep, play throughout the day, you're in contact with concrete at some point.
Everything we see here is pretty much concrete.
Exactly. All the buildings have concrete in it, the roadway has concrete, everything you see, there's concrete in it somewhere.
But concrete has an emissions problem. The energy-intensive process of making concrete releases massive amounts of CO2 into the atmosphere. Its main ingredient is responsible for 7% of global CO2 emissions. But what if there was a way that instead of releasing carbon dioxide, concrete could trap it forever?
Ready to suit up?
Same here.
Thank you.
There's a reason concrete is everywhere. At Thomas Concrete in Atlanta, it's their business.
There is no material that will do the same things as concrete. You cannot have the same type of strength levels. You cannot have the same type of durability.
It is the second most consumed substance on the planet after water.
Correct.
Concrete is a mixture of rocks, sand, water, and most importantly, cement to bind it all together. But cement has a huge carbon footprint. 1 pound of cement releases 1 pound of CO2 emissions. It's the second highest industrial source of CO2 on the planet. But without cement, concrete doesn't hold up skyscrapers.
All right, so this is what's different about your operation here.
This is kind of the brains of the beast here.
This silver tank is the newest thing in concrete. It's called Carbon Cure. This innovative system injects carbon dioxide into the concrete as it's being mixed. When the concrete hardens, those otherwise harmful emissions are sequestered forever, before they ever even reach our atmosphere. Christy Gamble is part of the team behind Carbon Cure's technology.
We actually convert the CO2 into a mineral. It's a stone. It's getting trapped in the concrete forever. And the best part about it is that the mineral itself actually improves the compressive strength of the concrete.
That's right. The real selling point here? Adding CO2 actually makes the concrete stronger. That means producers like Thomas Concrete can use less cement in their mixtures and still achieve the same strength. Less cement equals fewer emissions. Compression tests like this one prove that the concrete made with Carbon Cure is just as hardy as the traditional stuff.
That'll wake you up. You go to any major city right now, there's construction happening all over the place.
Exactly. If we're able to reduce 5% of the carbon footprint of the concrete industry, that's a significant change from where we're at right now. Ultimately, if this technology was deployed across the globe, we could reduce about 700 megatons of CO2 every year. And that's the same as taking 150 million cars off the road every year.
It's going to take the concrete industry changing the way they do things. Carbon Cure says about 90 concrete plants across the US and Canada use its technology right now. That's a fraction of the estimated 5,500 plants in the US alone.
The concrete industry is very slow to take on new change and innovation, and it's understandable because they work in an industry where quality is everything. The implications of sending concrete to sites that's not up to quality can be catastrophic.
Ultimately, it all comes down to the bottom line. Companies pay to use Carbon Cure's signature system and have to buy CO2 from a factory where it's emitted. but they save money by using less of their most expensive ingredient, cement.
At an assisted living center in Texas, a group of senior citizens said they missed giving out candy on Halloween. So they took to social media to ask their community to send in candy and to let the local kids know their home was a safe and fun place to trick or treat. Well, the candy has come pouring in, and the seniors are hoping all of the kids in the surrounding neighborhood come knocking at their door in just over 2 weeks. If we were just a twizzle bit closer, I'd totally pop in. Sure, there might be some snickers at an older kid, star bursting through the door like some giant nerd or Jolly Rancher. Some might want to gobstop me in my tracks or tell me to skittle-daddle. But that would only cause musketeers, when all I'd want is to walk a Milky Way full of almond joy with my butterfingers clasped around a whole chocolate of sugar. I'm Carl Azouz, and that is CNN.